Generic YouTube introduction. The IoteX ecosystem was founded back in 2017 as an open-sourced Ethereum EVM. Since then, it's grown into its own complete Layer 1 solution with full smart contract capability, insanely high TPS, and minuscule transaction fees. The project is run by an experienced team of people with a variety of skills across the board, with the main aim of providing the best solution to a decentralized, trusted bridge between IoT, DeFi, and the real world. I intend to keep this video as a brief overview of the IoteX ecosystem, and I plan to make more videos in the future with a more in-depth view of some of these features, some of the projects, some of the tokens on the ecosystem. If this interests you, and if you have any projects or any sort of topics or developments in the ecosystems you'd like a video of, please let me know. I'm going to split this video into two sections. The first section is going to be about the tokenomics and the features of the token and the ecosystem and how the nodes work. And the second section, I'm going to give a brief look into MachineFi, UCAM, some of the other projects on the ecosystem. And then we're going to close it up, keep it very brief. So I just thought we'd come on Gecko and have a look at the Gecko page for IoteX. Current price is just under 3 cents. We're just running down after the 2021 bull market, so we're in a bear market right now. Market cap sitting just under $260 million, and the market cap rank is the 137th biggest token right now. It was in the top 100 during the 2021 bull market, but it's since slipped. Yeah, I suggest coming on here, having a read, checking things out, looking at the history. You can see it has dropped quite a lot. I can 180 days, 1 year. Here we go. So you can see it topped out up here at over 20 cents a token. So it's come down quite a lot since it's high, nearly 90%. But I think it's got a big rally to go in the next bear market. I will put links to all of these resources in the description if anybody, well, I encourage anybody to come and read this for themselves if you have any interest. Cryptocurrency is going to be the future. So some of the token metrics for IoteX: maximum supply is 10 billion. They do implement a lot of burn tokenomics in the IoteX ecosystem. A lot have been burnt already, with an already total supply of 8.8 billion. We can read through all this. There's more than just these as well. These are the ones happening already. But basically, as transaction gets approved at the moment, tokens get burnt and tokens get distributed to the nodes as well. I'm not going to go through how they initially distributed all of the tokens. You can read this for yourself if you want. One interesting one is they kept some tokens back to dish out to the community as the project's developing, which I think was a really good idea. I'd also like to talk about the role the randomly selected delegated proof of stake system that the IoteX uses. It's not as complicated as it sounds, hopefully. So we all should know how Ethereum kind of works now with the nodes. People stake to the nodes, and then the nodes with the most staking power get to approve the transactions. Kind of works like that on IoteX. The nodes, you can take your IoteX tokens. When you stake them, you select the node. Your tokens then act as voting power for that node, and then the most popular sort of nodes for that epoch will be the ones approving the transactions. But it also goes a step further. So I think at the moment you have this 36. I think it picks the most 36 top sort of voted nodes, but it doesn't use all of them every time. It'll randomly select out of those top 36 a couple of nodes, so it's even more efficient and has massive scaling potential. Additionally, since it's a layer 1 solution with full smart contract capability, if the transactions costs did ever rise, it's possible to implement a layer 2 roll-up solution such as Polygon-Matic or any other similar ones to that onto the IoteX system. So even with the random DPoS system, you can have a layer 2 on top of that, so it's even more scalable again. So I really can't foresee any any issues anywhere, like what's going on with Ethereum right now, and that's not even that bad if you just run it through Polygon. With these masses of tokens and really fast transaction speeds and really minuscule transaction fees, IoteX aims to connect the world of smart objects, the world of smart things, the Internet of Things, and the blockchains, connect them together. To go over now, I'm not gonna look through this. One other thing I'm quite bullish about is as more things get connected to the IoteX network, more things get burnt. But also, I don't think so. One of the UCam is a perfect example. I'll talk about this now. So one of the key features of the UCam is a secure CCTV camera. So in the States, there was a lot of publicity about a security hack in baby monitors, where a burglar could hack into your baby monitor and see your baby. And I know that doesn't mean they can get access into your house, but it's still completely creepy, isn't it? So with IoteX, that camera would have a IoT device in it that would link to the blockchain, and all of the data going from that camera feed to your phone to wherever you want, wherever you're streaming it to, run through the blockchain, and they've had 0 data breaches as of yet. And I can only imagine once this goes to more than sort of baby monitors and other similar devices, because there's only a few right now. My assumption reading this is you only have to burn the token when you initially sign it with the initial registration, and when you want to go and check your feed, you don't have to go and then pay more tokens just to sign something. I've been using IoPay, I've been on the system, and sometimes you have to pay for the transaction, sometimes you don't, depending on what you're doing. I think it depends if you're sort of changing a contract or putting new information on. If you're just viewing a feed, I don't think you have to pay every single time, but please correct me if I'm wrong. Another page that's worth looking at is this real world data Oracle page. One of the key expansions, one of the key features of IoteX, which I think is going to make it dominate the market, is the ability to pull real world data onto the blockchain and create like a digital clone, interact with all of that stuff. The way this is done is through these TEE devices, that's trusted execution environment devices. They're just sensors that are trustworthy, basically, and there's a whole system of bringing them onto the blockchain, but then you have a digital clone of the real world on the blockchain that's completely trusted, that you can just go and pull data from. And I think the potential of that is massive. Now for part 2, I'd like to talk about some of the projects, some of the developments that are happening on the IoteX ecosystem. First one, big boy, IoPay 2.0. This is the cost train, the big app that's developed by the actual IoteX team. I use this app every day. I love it. Because the chain itself is so quick and so easy, and the transaction fees, you don't even notice them. It'll be like 0.001 of a token, and tokens cost a couple of cents, so you don't notice them at all. It's very similar to lots of the other apps you'll find, like Phantom. It's got the browser. I think there's a picture of the browser here somewhere. Yeah, here you go. So you can just, there'll be a list of lots of popular apps, but you can just type in a web page. You can go. Mimo is sort of the PancakeSwap, the Uniswap is the exchange for the IoteX. IoTube is the bridge, and you can see within the app you can just change what chain you're in, and there's a few options for chains, but you don't have to use Mimo if you want. You can load any app you want. Yeah, IoPay, check it out, download the app, give it a go. I've had a pleasant experience using it every time. Now UCam we've already spoken about briefly, so I'm not going to just go to it all again. You can see it's been going on for a long time. No breaches, powered by IoteX. Control your information. I'll put a link to this in the description, go and check it out. And again, it's not super powerful just for one camera for your house, but if you can see putting this into your door cams, maybe into the potential door locks for your shed, whatever it might be in the future. Everything's going electronic. Huge potential. The second sort of hardware device developed, I'm not sure if it's by the IoteX team or not, I think it is the Pebble. Now this is basically a TEE, Trusted Execution Environment. So this is a device that you can put in your house, you can put it on a truck, you could do whatever, and it will bring that data onto the chain and it'll be trusted data. I think the aim with these is to allow people to sort of develop with them. I don't think you can just put these in your house, but I suppose you could use it as a thermostat if you wanted to or something like that. But yeah, mainly for development, I think, with this product. There's also a Meta Pebble, which they're developing, which is just an app on your phone, which will turn your phone into a sort of an IoT data collecting device. But obviously there's issues here with whether your phone's trusted, can you spoof it? So there's a bit of trial and error here, whether it's truly trusted. Now for the last portion of the video, I'm going to talk about what the IoteX team call machine finance, which is sort of a twist on DeFi, which is decentralized finance. It's rather big. I think I'll do another video, hopefully going into depth on a lot of the things, reading through the paper. But the sort of basic concept behind it, from what I've grasped, is in the world now you sort of have things like Amazon Web Service, and then you have, I don't know if anyone's used Power Automate, which is the Microsoft cloud web services, or if anyone's got a smart house where they can ask it to turn their lights on and off, or if this then that, if you've ever used that service. But they are all these like core central databases that operate a larger network of machines, and this is sort of what they want MachineFi to be, is the bridge between virtual, digital, and the financial world, assuming the financial world is going to be on blockchain. And I'll give an example of kind of a business setup I could foresee this being in the future, and hopefully that'll spark your brain. So we'll take Uber as a business model now. You see, in the future, everyone's going to have these really expensive electric cars, and one of the biggest problems with cars is it sits on everybody's drive for 23.5 of the 24 hours in the day. That's a big waste of the machine time. It's just sitting there rusting away. So sharing machines is it's quite a hard thing to do. Driverless cars are coming in, you know, all this future stuff. There needs to be a way where you can trust information. So imagine in the future there's a fleet of cars that are owned fractionally through NFTs by a large group of people, and they can sort of call upon these cars to come and drive their driverless cars, and they can call upon these cars to come and drive them around. And if they're not driving them around, these cars could be called upon by other people through an app. This is a completely decentralized app. There's no Uber, there's no one controlling it. It doesn't even have to be a driver. It could be a driver. So you're in your house, you want to go to town, you get your phone out, you call your decentralized Uber, and this driverless car will come up outside your house. It knows where you are because your phone is a trusted device. Your car will be a trusted device. They'll have GPS trackers in. All this trusted information will be going through the blockchain. So you'll be notified. The car will know when you get in because it'll connect to your phone with near-field communications. It'll know you're inside. It'll know that you're the customer. You will know that that's your car. If it was an Uber situation where somebody kind of had to drive you, you would know that that's your driver, and it's not somebody turning up and pretending to be your driver. You'd have sort of that trusted connection. There's no one guessing your name. This car would then drive you to your destination. It's tracked the whole way. So if the guy was to go the long route, it could check the map. It could check the traffic data. This traffic data would be on chain. It would be like, okay, the satellite navigation system told you to go that way to save time because of traffic. That's okay to increase the charge. Do you know what I mean? But if you go the long way just to increase the charge, it could say there was no need for you to go that way, and then it would reduce the fare. If somebody cancels the ride halfway through, it would know exactly how far you've gone. It would know how much to charge you. All your money would just be in an automatic blockchain escrow system the whole time, and there's no like sort of Uber, no third-party involvement at all, and the entire car fleet could be owned by the people. I just think you take one business model like Uber and a system like that, I think it's amazing. You apply the same thing to sort of Netflix, where it's a decentralized sort of streaming service, and you fractionally own the media, and then people get paid depending on how much each show's watched. You can truly track everything. It is a bit scary that everything's getting tracked. So I think the better way to go is through a decentralized blockchain rather than through the system we have now, where you just have Google and Facebook and everyone just tracking everything, and they get all the money and they profit. With MachineFi, you could have a wallet that was connected to you, that if it did sell the data, it could sell it with absolutely no connection to your name, no way to trace back to you, and you could in fact profit from the data. So instead of Facebook getting their £10 a year or £20 a year or whatever it is, that could go back to you through a decentralized blockchain system, and there would be no way to trace that back to you as a person. So you would there would be a big database of information that you would just come in as an entry, no name, nothing like that, and then you would just get a share of that database as a fractional NFT. Fractional ownership is a big part of blockchain and everything else. So that's MachineFi quickly. I will just click on the vision paper. I'll probably just read through this in a video. I think MachineFi is huge. I think it's got loads of potential. There's a few sort of scary bits. But yeah, that's a brief overview from me of IoteX. I think it has massive potential. I'm not going to pretend I'm a financial advisor and give price predictions and pretend I can read a graph, because I can't. I just really think this is good technology. I really think we should own our own data. I think we should. Yeah, I just think this is the future. I work in the railways. I can imagine a digital twin. We talk about in work all the time. I can imagine a digital twin of an operating rail network using the blockchain to secure all the data feeds and train locations and passenger numbers and train times, how long the train's going to be. It's inevitable. And that's the end of that. So feel free to stop here. There's nothing more interesting coming. Yeah, any feedback's appreciated. Anything else you want to hear, let me know. If you thought this was rubbish, if I'm breathing in the mic, I tried not to. Any feedback appreciated. And yeah, anything else you want me to talk about, you could even join me in a Discord chat, talk about a project as well if you wanted to. I'm happy to do whatever. So yeah, if you come this far, thanks for listening, and see you next time, hopefully.